now we're done talking about these core roles. Let's go on and talk about the crossovers. Let me just find where I've got those now. Here we go. All right, cool. So reskinning the roles. So this was done, and we could talk about both reskins and the dual roles, because I think that they present us some interesting ideas for like the way we can kind of do things. So Rocker Boy transforms into a grifter. Their charismatic impacts becomes less about existing fans, more about convincing people you're worth spending time and resources on based on a cover identity. So the grifter. So this is an interesting reskin. I'm kind of intrigued by that reskin, because that reskin...
I actually have one that you guys will be encountering with Team Law and Disorder, more likely.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it is a sensible reskin, because I've always argued like Rocker Boys can be just about anyone who's performing on a stage, whether that's a physical stage or a digital one, for a purpose. And sometimes that purpose is grifting people. So yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. Solo becomes an athlete. Okay, hold on. I need to read this one. Competition in sports in the time of the Red can be as violent as any battlefield, and the athlete's combat awareness was developed in the arena, not in a war.
I could
kind of vibe with that, kind of, sort of.
I got a feeling, that's the college athlete that, probably didn't pay attention too well in class, and then, they have to figure it out on the street. Because, they just, they were just a little too old at, the ripe old age of 18 to get into the professional leagues or some shit like that. Or, I don't know. Sorry about that. That is a major spoiler for Phantom Liberty. I am so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a major spoiler for Phantom Liberty. Just, yeah, we'll let you find it. Boxing is a sport. This is true. MMA is a sport. There are also combat sports out there like paintball or airsoft, things like that are much more milsim in their nature. So the fact that you could have certain sports that are highly transferable skill-wise to the the street is not surprising. That does happen. I think that is a perfectly logical leap, but it does definitely there's elements of it that are a little more of a stretch. Athletes a little more of a stretch, but I think that using that as like flavor on top of things. Let me see. Em and I had a player at the table whose nomad was skinned into a street racer. We did. That was super fun. Let me see. Is that further down here? That was street racer, media's, mobster, lawman, fixer, nomad, racer. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we did do this. This one was a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll come to that in a moment. But yeah, that was a very cool one. Hockey. Yeah, hockey is one where you brawl a little bit, but yeah, solos I think are varied enough. I don't know that you really need to reskin them, but to like lend reason why they know things. I mean, that's more of a backstory thing than it is a.
Well, also just like, especially like with maybe some accuracy or other stuff that they're doing, like their awareness. Like I could see that making sense.
It makes some sense. Yeah, I'm not saying it's totally off the mark, but it's definitely like, it's more of a reason why you know certain things, like martial arts, for example, or brawling. Like these skills, maybe you came by them because you were a boxer or you were an MMA fighter, or maybe you did play hockey and you learned how to check people down to the ground really well when they decide to get a little too rough with you. You had the last laugh. Like these are reasons, but yeah, athletes. Again, it's more of a background than like a full like reskin, in my opinion. Netrunner no more. Now you're a thief. Specialize in infiltration using electronic security tech, stealth, and interface to get in, get the goods, and get out. Yep, that's a way you can build Netrunner. Like that is the way. I most of these feel like they're a different way to think about the role, like how you came across it. Like, you're not a gunfighter, you were an athlete originally, and this is what you became. you weren't a traditional rocker, like rocker boy, you know, playing instruments and stuff. Instead, your instrument was the public's perception of you. Um, yeah, Netrunner, this is just a type of Netrunner, in my opinion. Thief Netrunners are just the ones that pick high stealth builds, and yeah, you're very technically focused to break in, break out type skills and everything. From tech to cleaner. Bodies need to vanish. Crime scenes need to be sterilized. That's your job. Make your own gear because anything about can be traced by the cops or another mob. Sometimes you need to... Let's see. And sometimes you need a jury a cleaning solution to a problem on the fly. Yeah. So that's an interesting one. That is an interesting idea. What do you think about that, Diamond? I'm kind of curious about that one.
Now, tech to cleaner, this was like not an obvious one to me, but after kind of sitting and kind of mulling on this one, it's not a bad idea. I just wonder if, you know, maybe there could have been a different route that could have been taken. Like, instead of tech, you go with
med tech almost is what I would think.
Oh yeah. I feel like with tech though, it probably would have made much better for well, actually no, that would work well with thief already, but like I've seen some techs that work as basically stealth ops where they use their tech abilities to get into things.
Yeah, and Danger says down here, I think it's too restricting for what the world provides. I would agree. I think that cleaner is not nearly as all-encompassing as tech can be. It's the same thing. That's kind of the same way I felt about the solo reskin. Is solo's already such a broad role. It feels like defining it that way just limits it to an extent that I don't really like. And cleaner, it's the same kind of thing. It like restricts a very multifaceted role down to something extremely specific. And that is like, it's one path you could take. Like what I'm kind of reading these are as is more like, it's more as like, here's some extra character inspiration. If you're having a hard time like thinking of how a tech could present, here's another way they could present. And I agree, like having some tech make random gear that is used to clean up scenes or whatever is certainly a way you could go. It's not the way that I would make a tech, but it's certainly a way you could make a tech. Let's see. Tito, I believe that's you. Yeah, it's Tito. Nomad Family of Just Street Racer sounds great. Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. Makes me think of The Undertaker from John Wick, but yeah, this still reads as background once your runner game gets rolling. Yeah, exactly. Medtechs become agents. I actually really hate this one.
What's wrong with that?
I really hate this one because I pre-read it while I was talking about some of the other stuff. So it's when your client's too tired or drunk to perform, you've got the drugs they need. If the sound effects goes wrong, or special effects goes wrong, your client burns their face on stage, you've got some salve. When they're depressed, you can soothe their ego. It's like, I guess you're kind of just their personal medic though. You're the first aid guy backstage in that case. But they have a legit agent in Danger Gal Dossier and they're an exec. So it's like, I don't know. This feels more like if you combine medtech with an exec, that's what you'd get. Not so much the medtech on their own. Like, I think of medtechs as being like, for medtech, the way I think of a reskin. So here's the reskin that Emmerron's reskin for a medtech is you are now instead of being just a medtech, you are you're a street medic. So you've got the drugs for the people who come looking for them. You've got the medical know-how to patch up the random people that come to you looking for aid. And you are always there to kind of help soothe a, person grieving in some of the worst parts of the city. You're the compassionate medic who lives in just as much poverty as your neighbors, but you're willing to do something for the better good. That, in my opinion, is what like a medtech reskin could look like.
Another one that I had thought of, and it would probably have to mix in with something else, probably Fixer, but Beautician, where you know
Yeah,
you might be one of those that you're just trying to make everyone beautiful and unique.
a biosculptor,
And
heavily surgery focused. Yeah, you could totally do
yeah, like
biosculptor.
sure it does fall under med tech, but like where instead of like you aren't dealing with cyberware, you happen to be very, very good at making people disappear because they need to disappear.
Yeah,
They
and
need to look like someone else.
yeah, and hating on Christians says social worker, and I'm like, yeah, social worker is a great idea for a med tech because you absolutely have some ability to do that.
I think that's the mix of lawman and medtech, actually.
Yeah. I was about to say the same thing before you mentioned that might have been the actual fusion, because that is what that reads like to me. It's like you've got the authority to get in there and get something done, but you've got the medical background to be able to actually do something from that facet as well. So yeah, to continue, medias make good private investigators. Sure. Yeah, that could work.
I mean, yeah. I mean, fucking, what's his face? From fucking NCPD. Fucking Escobar is media with credibility of 4, the mini boss for fucking
is that for the zoners?
over there. No, NCPD.
It's for NCPD.
The Interpol agent.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I've yet to read Danger Gallon any real depth because I haven't had much of the time to like really dive in, or to like memorize most of those stat blocks because I'm mainly like grabbing them as I need them. But yeah, the media one is probably a better fit. I agree, Danger. Like Media's reskin is definitely probably the best we've seen so far. Except for the Rocker Boy one was pretty good too. Like both those are about the same.
I like the mobster.
Let's see. One play a mobster exec is perfect. The mob pays your home, gives you the underlings, makes you take care of. All you need is sell your soul and are willing to do what the boss says until you kill them and take over. Yep, that's an exec through and through. They're the street organizers instead of it being a corporation. I agree. That's a great way to justify an exec.
I mean, Commandant, who's current leader of the Russian mafia in my setting, I mean, that's where her ranks are primarily as exec and some fixer.
Yep, you're an organizational leader. That's all that an exec means. And so, like, I could definitely see plenty. And I mean, even those places, they have cover corporations. How do you think they run cover corporations? By having execs. Like, you have to have a front. A business front for your money laundering or whatever.
Oh, you mean neighborly insurance?
Yeah, you knew exactly where I was leaning with that mention. Yeah, neighborly insurance, exactly.
We're a legitimate insurance company, all right, folks. Don't worry.
They are indeed a legitimate insurance company. Never mind that they cook the books certain ways to make sure that we keep our criminal enterprises undetected. Some say NCPD is just another gang. Yep. Lawman becomes a ganger pretty easy. Backup no longer arises in the forms of cops, but fellow gang members or allied gangers who owe you and your group favors. Yep. I almost think that makes more sense than the way they have lawmen right now. Because if lawmen leaned into authority, I mean, even gangers, technically, you could reskin it and give them that authority boost, and it's like, hello.
This is my turf. Where's my protection money?
I'm a lieutenant of the Claws. This is our neighborhood. So you're going to either pay up right now or we're going to fuck you up good and you'll make sure you bring enough eddies next time. Like, yeah, that is absolutely a lawman thing that you could just twist. Corp military chaplain for medtech. Corp and military chaplain for medtech. You could do that. That's a way. Yeah. But in an era without corporate war, it's kind of weird because you don't really have Like, corporations do have militaries, yes, but they aren't as involved as they used to be by any means. At least they aren't yet, right? 30 years on, we know that they'll get involved with everything again, but corporate militaries have kind of died
But
into...
the fourth corporate war was the war to end all wars. There won't be any more wars. What are you on about?
Copium. Here comes Diamond with the copium.
It's 2045. How much worse can this get?
oh, so much worse. Anyway, one reskin fixer. How about a spy? Ooh, I like that idea actually a lot. You might be working for a government or a corp or even freelance, but the operator works much the same. It represents who you know, what you can get without blowing your cover, and how well you blend into other cultures. Yep, that is an excellent reskin. Because that is truly a reskin.
Because, like, one of the things that fixers can do, like, especially at high rank, they can just walk into, they could end up on a private island with a bunch of other people that really know each other. And, well, that fixer blends in on that private island with everyone else and then can walk away with whatever files are on that island and leave with it.
Right. No, I think fixer is a great fit for it. I don't know that media fits that better. I think media's, because they want to publish their work at the other end of it, that's where private investigators definitely a better fit for them. Fixer being a spy makes a lot of sense. Like I said when we were actually going over the fixer, they're very, very self-interested in certain cases. And this would be one of those cases where, like, you make a fixer who is seemingly self-interested, but really they're there for a government or a corporation trying to gather intel. Like, that makes perfect sense to me, actually. That works fantastic. Finally, there's Nomad. Nomads aren't the only ones who can benefit from a motor pool of vehicles. What about a racer? Get fast and furious as your moto represents access to your race crew's vehicle pool. Just be careful. Road races in 2045 are rough stuff. Can confirm the racer in our crew nearly ran over an old woman as he swerved around a dumpster. It was a lot. But yeah, street racers are definitely a thing. Nomad clans that have street racing is a thing. I think that's perfectly appropriate though. So yeah, there were more of those that I agreed with than not. I'd say, like, the ones I really didn't like were, like, honestly, like, these four aren't great, because really it's like solo, that's too constraining. Tech, it's the same thing, too constraining. MedSec, it's not super constraining in the same way, but it just feels like it really diminishes how critical you are as a role. And you're now like, oh, did you get away with a boo-boo? Here you go, here bandage. And it's like, okay, good. Like, that's what I've been reduced to. Yay, great.
Yeah.
So
now, Netrunner's Thief, I can get behind that one.
I can get behind it, but again, it's more of a build than a reskin. Like, I've built Thief Netrunners. That's how I built 8-Bit. He's a Thief Netrunner. He goes in.
That's what Dia is.
Yeah, he's meant to breach quiet, get the shit, get out. And then that is... but that's a build. That's not really a reskin. Whereas, like, you do Mobster, that's a reskin. That is, like, totally changing the flavor of your character, totally reshaping, like, the way they administer their role ability, their power, all of that. Ganger, same deal. That is actually a full-on reskin. It's not just a way to play the character. Spy, same thing. It's like its own thing altogether. Racer is a little more in the vein of the other ones where it's like, yeah, you just kind of build them that way. But even then, I would argue that that's probably more of a reskin than the ones I highlighted above. So yeah, the back part of this, very, very good. And Rocker Boy is a grifter, also very good. But yeah, those four in the middle are just, they're either too doable as, like, just a build. Like, yeah, if I'm a Thief Netrunner, of course I'm going to do those things. If, like, because I'm not really a thief, I'm still a Netrunner. But the purpose I'm net running for is just different. That's the only difference. Whereas Fixers as a spy is, like, totally changes how you play that character and totally recontextualizes, like, what their abilities all do. Demolition Derby time, absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like you'd easily have like a nomad pit crew and stuff like that, and that would be like just a thing. Like that's just you have an arm of like the Aldecaldos or something where their focus is heavily on racing. Yep. Good night, Phantom. Have a good one, man. And then yeah, we got we got punk campaign ideas. God, I love that art. That's such a good fucking bit of art. I think that's for a Netrunner. That's such a good
That's on Fixer's page.
Is that on Fixer? Okay.
Yes.
That's a good one. I
kind of no life Cyberpunk red.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, that's it. Just I think jumpsuit. I'm like, damn, that looks like a net running jumpsuit.
It might be actually.
That's kind of yeah, because I'm like, hold up. I'm gonna pull up my core rulebook on the other page real quick and just see. Thank you to my patrons for the month of February 2024. Your support makes doing what I do easier and allows me to do more with the time that I have. Thank you all so much. If you would like to support me in what I do, please join these fine people by following the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Thank you all. Oh, it's their live path page. Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's a cool bit of art. All right. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So, multi-classic ideas, Rocker Boy / Silver AK, the Johnny Silverhand. Yep. I'm not going to go deep into each of these because there's a lot of them. Rocker Boy, Netrunner, the Virtual Prankster. Yup, that makes sense. Tech, the Musical Craftsman. Don't just play, you make them. Yep, that is a great idea. Rocker Boy, Medtech, the Spiritual Healer. Yeah, that's very cool. I like that. Because that kind of takes that grifter idea to a certain extent and just kind of plays with it. The same kind of like, all right, so now we're going to center our chi. Like, it's great. Rocker Boy Media as the influencer. Yeah, I've actually had players that I'm like, yeah, you play Rocker Boy and then you take media to allow yourself to broadcast it. Like, that's very, very cool. Rocker Boy Exec, aka the producer. You don't just make your own music, you make other people's music possible. Rocker Boy Media is Joe Rogan. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it is kind of Joe Rogan, huh? Rocker Boy Lawman as the mascot. Oh, you're the PR guy. Yeah, that makes sense. Rocker Boy Fixer.
Definitely did not raid the wrong house.
Definitely not. Rocker Boy Fixer, the indie networker. You don't have an agent, manager, or a label. What you do have is a network of contacts who can get you equipment, roadies, or venues in a hurry. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. Singing Cowboy, the Rocker Boy Nomad. Should you ride a motorcycle instead of a horse? Classic image of the wandering cowboy rolling into town, singing songs. Dispense justice and woo fair lovers. Remains a potent archetype in the dark future. Hell yeah. Solo Rocker Boy, the Euro Solo. I mean...
Ah, yes. Spiffy, clean, still very deadly.
Sure. The Tomb Raider and the Solo Netrunner. Yeah, that's true.
So does that mean I have to have like pyramids glued onto my chest?
We'll say it's not required, but it's strong. Like, it's one of those job requirements that is like, we don't need you to have this thing, but we strongly prefer a candidate who can glue triangle tits on their chest. Yes. Like, oh boy, 3 a.m. Yeah, that's where you're at right now. Welcome.
Oh boy, oh we're hitting those hours.
Solo Tech, the gun crafter. Sure. Solo Medtech, field medic. Yeah, I agree with that. I play a Medtech that's very solo-ish. Just doesn't have the solo roll ability. But that's not a problem. Never let that slow me down. I still play it like a solo. Solo Media, the war correspondent. That's a good one. Solo Exec, the revolutionary. What? Some execs
So
control a department. You lead a group that's mad as hell at the state of the world and ain't going to take it anymore. Your leadership keeps them organized and alive. Best of all, you lead from the front.
sometimes you get a. I feel like that would be like, leaders higher up in the zoners, where you have like underlings that help you.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird one. It works-ish.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Solo Lawman, the bounty hunter. Wow.
Solo bounty hunter. Someone has a price in your head. You aim to collect. Yeah. That makes sense. Solo fixer, the arms dealer. Makes sense. Solo nomad, the babysitter.
Ah, yes, the designated driver.
Yeah, that checks out. Netrunners. Netrunner Rocker Boy, the drone dancer. Drones are everywhere. Okay. Yeah, sure. Makes sense. Netrunner Solo Lone Runner. Sure, the days of infiltrating data fortresses from the comfort of your couch are gone. There's a little difference between a Weeful hacking from behind cover, when you can blast in and out, down every threat, meet in virtual. Yep, that is indeed a type of runner. Holy shit. That is terrifying to think about, but yep, that is indeed a runner. Netrunner Tech, the builder. Yeah, that makes total sense. So what you can make in cyberspace, you can make in physical. Yeah, you can do some crazy shit with all that. Netrunner MedTech, the Med Raider. You know the secrets of the elite are hoarding, medicines, treatments, cures. Makes you mad. So mad you've decided to break in, dive deep, find those medical breakthroughs, and give them to the world. Healthcare shouldn't be for profit. Absolutely, comrade. Totally agree. Netrunner Media, the whistleblower. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good combo. Ban their systems. You know the truth. You know the dirty laundry, the corpse buried deep down. You're going to expose them to the world, secret by secret. Yes, indeed. The Clone Runner. What? Heard about before you sold out, so what? You're also not worried about going hungry or finding a place to sleep. Again, some of the exec combos are weird. Yeah, that's
what. You're just one of another many runners in their system.
Yeah,
like clones.
Yeah, like sort of, kind of, but then that doesn't really link into like the exec's teamwork ability unless your teamwork is all netrunners.
But yeah, you have Solo cover your ass while you're at it.
Yeah, you could. It's a little bit of it's a weird title. That's all I'm saying. I'll be interested to see the exec side, the exec dominant side of that one. Netrunner Lawman, the Net-tective. Yep, that's Netwatch in a nutshell. Absolutely, can't agree more. Netrunner Fixer, the Info Broker. I love Info Broker Netrunners. They're so much fun. I actually really love them. If you focus Netrunner with a focus in trading, it is a good choice. Do not be told that is a bad decision. It is a great choice. This is a great build. Love that build. Netrunner Nomad, the Night Rider. Dude, Diamond, is this where you picked up your idea?
Yes. That's exactly where I got it, and I just, I want it.
I love it. I love it. It's good stuff. Tech Rocker Boy, the Educator. Engineering genius, but where the other geeks speak technobabble, you know how to make what you do understandable. Maybe a better title for this one would have been like communicator, or science communicator, or tech communicator.
This feels like you run the YouTube tech channel that talks about
the first thing popping into my head was Kyle Hill as like a science educator. That's what this made me think of. It's like that, but for engineering nerds. Which it would be awesome, by the way. Like, Kyle Hill's a great dude. Tech Solo, the Boom Brigadier. Linus Tech Tips. Yeah, Linus Tech Tips to a point. I still think they lean a little bit into technobabble every so often. They don't always get it quite dumbed down to a level that I appreciate it fully.
Hi, welcome to the Lockpicking Lawyer. Today we're going to be opening up.
Yeah. Good night, LCC. Have a good one, man. Yeah.
Night, LCC.
Welcome to Lockpicking Lore. Here we have a Master Lock M3200. You can unlock it with a Master Lock M3200.
I think that's McNally that normally does those. But
both of them, I think, have done them. Like, unironically, I think both have done
I
them.
mean, you know, the Lockpicking Lawyer got into his ex-girlfriend's back door live on video.
Yeah.
Like, it's just there.
Yep. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Anyway, the Boom Brigadier. Anyone can toss a grenade, but when it comes to real damage, that requires specialist. You know just where to place a charge to cause maximum damage, and if you need to throw a grenade, you've got the whole satchel full. Yes, this is also known as Dice's worst nightmare. For those of you who don't know, Dice, when he's talked about the games he's ran, he has some headaches with his players getting way too many nades. It's really funny. Tech Netrunner, the security specialist. That doesn't need any more explanation. I agree. That is a good one. Tech Medtech, the Flipper Ripper. Hell yeah, that is exactly what that is. Love that. Love that so much. Tech Media, the Brain Dance Tuner. Dude, that's an awesome one. I love that.
Judy.
Yeah, pretty fucking much. Tech Exec, the Disruptor. You know the names. The techs who climb to the top of the corporate ladder with revolutionary ideas and change the world. That's you. You're the next Sokolov. The next UR. The next Logagia. You're going to disrupt the whole system, maximize innovation, and bring synergistic change to the world. Of course, they had to stuff synergy in there somewhere.
That made me cringe.
Yeah.
Oh, that made me cringe.
Synergistic anything is, yeah, cringy. That's funny, though. I do like that. Tech Alarm and the CSI. Yep, don't even need to read that one. Agreed. Tech Fixer, the Tech Networker. Started small, someone came to you looking for a piece of tech you couldn't make, so you found someone who could. Now you spend as much time sourcing tech as building it. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, so you're like a tech logistician would be another way to put that. Okay, cool. Tech Nomad, the Restorer. Any Nomad can repair their own ride, but you specialize in finding old junkers and restoring them to pristine shape so they can be added to the family fleet. You pride yourself on finding the beauty inside any beat-up old ride. That's cute. I like that. MedTech Rocker Boys, Celebrity Doc. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I don't even need to read that one.
Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, all those guys.
Jesus, yeah, pretty much.
You may not even be a doctor, really.
I mean, I don't have a medical license. But I absolutely will preach it from the rooftops that Speed Heal is a miracle drug. It can cure everything, even cancer.
Oh.
N54's lawyers would like to remind you that everything I say on this is for pure entertainment. None of you legally take me seriously at all. Thank you. Anyway, MedTech Solo, aka the Angel. You started out. Oh, I love that idea because playing it from the MedTech side, this is the way I play fucking Virgil. Is you start out as an Angel of Mercy, bringing care and compassion to the combat zone. Then the gangers came. You tried to do no harm, but they refused to back down. So now you're an Angel of Death too when the situation calls for it. Hell yeah, that's what I am. Abso-fucking-lutely, that's what I am.
I'm the Warrior of Darkness.
That has become what you must become, the Warrior of Darkness. Yeah, literally me with my mono katana. That is absolutely me. Jesus, I love that description so much. I relate. That is, it gives me the warm fuzzies inside just thinking about all the people I flatlined who tried to fuck with my crew. I brought that guy back to life for a fucking reason. The fact you put holes in my hard work, it does not bring me joy. So now I'm going to remove the things that no longer bring me joy. And that's where you slice off their cyber arms. Like I said, freshly found cyberware. Anyway, MedTech Netrunner, the Biosculptor. Why does that equate to Biosculptor?
Really?
That sounds so weird. Hold up. I need to read this. Your client needs to be someone else for a while. No problem. Employment.
Oh,
Oh shit! You're a deep
So,
dive med tech.
you got
Aha!
you need to go pull the records. You need to see what they look like. Maybe get some family photos to see how to make them look the right way.
Literally do a future version of this person does not
And
exist on them.
also get all the records that they need to have a perfect identity.
It's a good one. I will admit. I didn't see it at first, and now I see it. That's a much better one than I thought it was. MedTech Tech, the bad breaker. Oh my god. Maybe you start out.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, exactly. Say my fucking name. Heisenberg. You're goddamn right. Yeah. So maybe you start with good intentions. Maybe you just like making money. Either way, these days you're peddling street drugs is often the medicinal kind. At least you know shit's pure. Yep. MedTech Media, the secret hunter. People say all sorts of things while high on painkillers and anesthetic. And they won't even notice the microphone you implanted in their body during the last elective surgery. As you have the dirty little secrets, you'll publish them in the scream sheets under a pen name. Beautiful. I do love it. MedTech exec, the clinic operator. Yeah, this is one of the few exec ones that has made sense. Going patient by patient wasn't helping enough people, so you begged, borrowed, and stole to open your own free clinic. There's more paperwork, more trouble, and more responsibility this way, but at least you're also helping people more than ever. Yep. That's good. MedTech lawman, emergency responder. Yep, your EMS. That doesn't even need to be read. MedTech fixer, the doc connection. All the fixer ones are like connection, networking. This is what you do. Your sorry doctor takes payment in favors the said currency. I've done that. Now a friend needs a specific something, it all works out because the chum you treated last week has it. More people you help, the more favors you're owed. MedTech nomad, the family doctor. Yeah, that's you do house calls. It's beautiful. Media rocker boy, documentarian. Sure, that makes sense. Media solo, the Thompson. Yeah, that makes sense. You'll break into.
Oh,
yeah.
I missed that reference.
Yeah. That's a good one. 2010s when we covered the Arasaka riot, Gonzo, frontline journalism, expose the sins of power. You follow his example. You get the story. You need to crack the corpse shell, yank out the rancid meat, show it to the world. Media netrunner, aka virtual journalist. Who needs a studio and a green screen when you have a net architecture you can customize? Yep.
Hi.
Yeah, exactly. Literally.
I'm not a journalist.
That's what you think. You do publish reviews for tabletop, though.
Oh shit, you're right.
Media tech, the producer. Yep, makes sense. Media med tech, storyteller. Stories around the fire. Telling stories around the fire is a human occupation as all its time. Your stories can do so much.
Oh.
The individuals, they soothe and heal the soul. With groups, they change minds and inform. Your therapist and a truth teller all in one. Interesting.
Neat.
Yeah, that
I
is
like
an interesting
that.
take. Because you're playing media dominant, so that does make sense. Okay, no, that's cool.
And, maybe you need a few meds and some good stories, and then the patients are gonna be out like fucking lights.
Yep. Star reporter. Yep.
I have one of those in one of my groups. So
that makes perfect sense. Yep. Media lawman, the embed. Yeah, that's fair enough. You're the
you're
the cameraman in Cops.
Yeah, you tape shows for Safe and Sound.
Yeah. Media fixer, aka the independent journalist. Yeah, that makes sense. Like some of these fixer ones have been ones I've kind of put an eyebrow up at, and they make sense in the long run, but the name's weird. Independent journalist is not one of them. That is a good name. The wandering eye. Oh yeah. Media nomad. Oh. Absolutely. Get around. Yep. That's a good one. Exec rocker boy, the club owner. Yep. Exec solo, the gang leader. Yep. We talked about that. Exec netrunner, the corp spy. Absolutely. Exec tech, the netwatch agent. Not this one? What?
What's up?
Netwatch is all netrunners. Why would the tech be the netwatch agent?
I mean,
You'd think a netwatch agent, yes, I would. Hey, hold up. They're saying what I'm thinking. You'd think a netwatch agent would be a netrunner. But a lot of them are techs. You don't need to dive into net architectures. You just need to be able to shut down disconnecting links to the old net.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
so you and your crew have to go do
this
that.
This feels like RTG is getting me on a technicality, but okay. Fair enough. I think the exec netrunner is more. Well, no, that'd be more lawman. Lawman netrunner would probably be more netwatch.
I think they talk about it a little bit in what was it? Tales of the Red, like how Renzer is like, bottom of the totem pole because most of Netwatch is a bunch of fucking tech nerds.
That's fair. Yeah, you're right. Still, they don't respect my netrunner enough. I swear to God. Anyway, exec medtech trauma captain. Yep, makes sense. You're the leader of like trauma ward. Exec media, aka the anchor. Yep, makes sense. Exec lawman, aka the negotiator. Absolutely makes sense. Yep. Deals with everyone. That totally makes sense. Exec fixer, the buyer.
Gummy guy.
Supply chains change. Time of the red, your job hadn't. You get your org raw materials, parts, and labor, and sometimes you make sure your org's rivals don't. Puppet Ancestor, and you make that chain dance. That's beautiful. Yeah, no, I do like that one. Exec Nomad, the ambassador. Yup, that I don't even need to read that. I agree completely. That's a good one. Lawman Rockerboy, the celebrity bounty hunter. Who's the dog? The big bad dog. Yeah, no, that is literally, that is Dog the Bounty Hunter. 100% agreed. Lawman Solo C-SWAT. Yeah, pretty much. You're dropping on their asses with a 10 gigaton elbow. Yeah, pretty much. Lawman Netrunner, the Net Cracker. Bad name. Don't like it. Server warrants no easy task. Squad goes on blind. They're going to get a face full of turret fire lead. Sure, the traps laid out by the bads are disarmed, or better yet, turn to your side.
Oh.
Sure. I guess. I mean,
Netrunner Lawman is the more closer to the Netwatch. This seems to be someone that is very much closer to like what the sappers are.
Yeah.
Where you're dealing with enemy traps.
Yeah.
Rather than hunting the enemies on the net.
Yeah. Like, let me see if we go back up to. Let me see where was Netrunner. Netrunner Dominant Lawman is a Netective.
Yeah, that sounds very like Netwatch.
See, I think they should flip, is what I think.
Really?
Because either way, getting dirt means you need to pick brains pockets. Because think about it this way, right? If I'm playing a Lawman Dominant, right? I'm a Lawman Dominant in the mix, right? My net running skills are going to be pretty not good, right? Like, high level nets just ain't going to get cracked. They won't. But if I'm a Netrunner Dominant, they will. So you would think that the Netrunner Dominant one would be the one running to take out the defenses before the team breaches. So you're like a Netrunner on SWAT almost. And the other way around, you'd be investigating something and use your net running skills to patch up the holes in your investigative practice. That seems to make more sense to me. But that's just my opinion.
I could see it. I just do feel if we're looking at it from an NCPD point of view where they prefer the use of muscle, that, maybe it's going to just be that this guy happens to be just good enough to be able to break.
Yeah, but if you're lower than a rank 4 Netrunner, unless you're popping some Scav Den, they're probably gonna have decent firewalls and stuff like that, and that's my problem.
And then I saw with Lawman Tech, like just on the previous page, we got the Quartermaster.
Track inventory, sure, fair enough. Medtech social worker, yep, that's a good one. That's a good one. Let me the psychic detective. God, that's such a goddamn trolly thing, but it's funny. I like that one. Real psychic powers? No such thing. But you can cold read people in clear cases, so your agency's willing to buy your shtick. You're literally playing that dude from what was it? Psych, I think was the name of the the show. Yeah, that's literally you. Jesus, that's funny. Lawman exec senior security, sure. You're the guy running things. Lawman fixer evidence clerk, sure. You're connecting dots. Lawman nomad the ranger, yep, makes sense. Fixer rocker boy, the old guard. Old fogey, you couldn't come up with a guitar amp, you know better. Your name was up in lights, you shred so hard you set the house on fire. Sure enough. Fixer solo, the monarch. Let other fixers squabble to grow their territory. This is your neighborhood. It's all you need. Make sure it has water, electricity, and food. And if people cross you, make sure it has plenty of body bags too.
Oh, hi, Rogue.
Hi, Rogue. Exactly what I was thinking. Fixer Netrunner, the game master. I'm just saying that's not wrong. You've set your own net architecture full of traps and tricks and black ice. Net runners from around Night City come to test themselves on it. You make it a race for sport. First to the bottom wins. Loser goes home on a stretcher, or if they're unlucky, a body bag.
Oh. Oh. You want to play a game?
Yeah, I was thinking about it more as like the Hunger Games game makers. It's literally that.
The ultimate mechanic.
Ultimate mechanic. Yeah, you run your own shop. You know where to get shit. That makes sense. That makes plenty of sense.
Dealer.
The dealer. No, not those kinds of drugs. These days, every clinic, from the lowest rubber doctor to the biggest hospital, needs help sourcing their pharmacies. You're a doctor too, right? You know which pills will save lives, which pills are knockoff poison pretending to be medicine. Yeah, it's fair. Fixer media, gossip monger.
With high amounts of radiation, because apparently those got sold on Amazon at one point. Anyway,
yeah, a gossip monger. Yeah, that's a good one. Fixer exec, the bookie. Yep, that kind of makes sense. Yep. Fixer lawman, the undercover. Yeah, well, that's kind of like spy. Makes sense. Fixer nomad, the organizer. Yep, that makes sense.
I feel like Fixer Lawman really plays closer to that Blade Runner in a sense, where you're having to work undercover and you have to literally work off your wits.
Yeah, I could see it. I
could also see Media Lawman working for that as well, or Lawman Media.
I think Fixer Lawman does work probably best for it, if I were being honest. I kind of agree. I think that it's got all the flavor. Yeah. Nomad, Rocker Boy, the circus performer. Makes sense. Nomad Solo, the scout. Also sense. Nomad Netrunner, the cargo hacker. Oh, yes, baby. I love that. I love that. I did that once. That was fun as fuck. Holy shit. Yeah,
nice.
That was because Diamond, have you ever watched Mike Pondsmith's gig with Team Monster attacking the Amberlin? You ever watched?
I haven't gotten to that episode yet, but is that the one where they go and attack the submarine?
The submarine is part of it, but
they attack the large ship.
They're hijacking a cargo ship. So it's the one that they actually have a model of that cargo ship they built. Sell it, but back at Gen Con they just had it as a concept, and they set it up right next to the RTG booth, and it was so fucking cool. This thing is massive. And they had a whole cargo yard to go with it. It was really cool. So when I saw it, I'm like, that was one of my first Cyberpunk gigs, was playing through this because RGM picked it up. And I literally was hacking cargo cranes and shit. It was super fun. So yeah, that's very, very cool. Nomad Tech, the acquisition specialist. Yep, makes sense. Nomad MedTech, the barber. Explain this one.
Oh.
Small packs sometimes mean someone has to do it all. Haircuts, shaves, tattoos, cyberware, and healing.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
A bit like prison barbers. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense. Not just a doc, you're an artist. You keep your pack both feeling good and looking good. Yep. Man, Media, the pirate. Yep. Yes, sir.
Pirate Radio.
This is Patchy, right before Patchy got flatlined. Yep, that's a good one. Nomad Exec, the teacher. You've been around a while and people in your pack trust you. That's why you got some of the youngest or the younglings following you around. Help you out in exchange. You teach them the ways of the world. Yep, makes sense. Nomad Lawman, aka the Hunter. Yep, makes sense. Nomad Fixer, aka the Clerk. Your family is someone like you. You've got context in every port, and always know where to find your what your people need. Car parts, seeds, booze. Your nomads need something to come to you. You make it happen. Yep. 90 different role combinations, plenty more to explore. Hopefully this inspired you. Yep. That's good. More or less, I'd say that list is a good list. That's pretty solid list. There's a few of them in there that I feel like are kind of weird. Some strange picks, strange examples, but they
were in fact collecting the random.
They were in fact collecting the random, as the name up here suggests. But yeah, this is another good one. 20 random kibble flavors. I always like this one too.
I'll pull this out every once in a while.
Yeah. Kibble Sport Flakes. They're great at clogging up your bowels. Love it. Extra fluffy pancake. Just add Cottonelle Brands maple syrup. Hell yeah.
Cheese. Yes, they're supposed to glow in the dark like that.
I just love this. You know how it is. Your players just flatlined a ganger. Now they're searching the poor slob's pockets. You decide the new corpse has 10 eddies and a bag of kibble on them. There. Now you're ready to move on to the next part of the mission. Right up until someone asks the question, what flavor's the kibble? Don't worry, Chumba. We've got your back. Here's a table of 20 random kibble flavors stripped from Balancetown. Fucking love it. I fucking love it.
Have I ever told you about the lemon ginger incident?
No, you have not told me about the lemon ginger.
Oh my god! I had a player who wanted to loot a booster ganger's body.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, there's a bag of lemon ginger kibble located in the guy's pockets. Like, oh, great, all right, awesome. Like, all right, congrats, you now have lemon ginger kibble.
You do indeed.
And so we go and we're off to our next encounter, and they were doing stealth, and this guy's just like, well, also, by the way, crunch, as he bites into a piece of kibble. And I'm just like, what are you doing? It's like, well, I have to see what the lemon ginger kibble tastes like. The curiosity's been getting to me. It's like, well, tastes lemony, tastes gingery. And it's like, well, what does ginger taste like? And I was just like, yeah, it's got a little bit of a kick to it.
It's got a little heat, like the kind of heat you encounter cinnamon.
Roll, resist, drugs, and torture. Well, what do you mean? Roll, resist, drugs, and torture. Rolls a 1. Rolls a 10. All right, well, you are coughing. You are coughing, my friend. You are wheezing. You are not handling the ginger well.
That is indeed a reaction to ginger. Yep, if you're not ready for it.
All while they were in the middle of a scabber hole.
Boy, that is not the time.
They all come crawling out the walls. Like, everyone's just like, oh, scabs, easy little trash. It's like, no. I have my scabs, like, crawling out of holes, crawling out of walls, crawling out of places that you wouldn't expect them to.
Yeah, I love this bacon cheddar dump burger. Surprisingly popular.
Well, if I'm correct, a dump burger is like an actual type of burger.
Oh, it is. No, it absolutely is. Yep. No, that sounds very tasty. I won't lie. Kiwi is the one that I memed on. It's one of the sub players that played me on Inferno every so often. Just like he had an obsession with Kiwi kibble. And they made sure everyone else knew exactly how vile this stuff tasted. And he was like, no, man, it's pretty fucking tasty. I mean, I love this. And everyone else was just like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah, I also had a player try to weaponize Kibble Double XL. And I was just like, all right, roll me an athletics check. He rolled a 10 and then rolled a 10. And I'm just like, okay, well, you do 1d6 damage, not ignoring armor, but he rolls a 6. It was an aim shot for the head. And the guy wasn't wearing a helmet. This band did 12 damage to a guy with a golf ball sized piece of kibble. 12 damage, Emmerron.
It's literally the John Wick story. I once watched him kill 3 men with a pencil. I once watched him kill 3 men with a kibble. It's really fucking funny. I love it. Yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, that's pretty much the end of the document as far as what I wanted to talk about. So gonna, I think, begin closing some things down here because that was pretty much it.
See an April online.
Oh boy, we might have to go raid. But yeah, bottom line, everyone. Boot camp was a lot of fun. Those of you who still haven't played Cyberpunk and would like to learn Cyberpunk Red, I will host another in the future. The plan is not to do that for a few months at least. I need to kind of look at what the next couple of months, weeks, etc. hold. But that said, we will have another. Meanwhile, I'm going to start up more regular paid games on Start Playing. The first of those is tomorrow at 9 a.m. But as always, if you want to support me on what I do here, you can go to my Patreon, which is linked down below, I believe. You can go to now my YouTube. I just became a YouTube partner as of today. I am so unbelievably excited for the fact that I'm now a YouTube partner. That is probably some of the best news I've gotten in a really long time. So for all of you who watch me there and follow me on there and support me both there and here on Twitch, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really, really appreciate all of you. But yes, if you want to offer me monetary support, you can do so either through my Patreon or pay for a gig on Start Playing. Both of those help me immensely. Your subs here on Twitch definitely also do help if you have Primes. I love all of you who subscribe to me through Prime. It helps me a lot with covering things that I want to do here on the channel. But that is going to be it for us tonight. So I hope all of you have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Stay healthy, stay safe. And until we talk again, it's going to be peace from me. Twitch, let's go ahead and raid April in.